Xabi Alonso has been tasked with modernizing Real Madrid tactically. Can he do it? Is he the man to do this?
I mean, they brought him in to do that, right?
Right.
I think you don't bring him in just because he went invincible for a season at Bayer Leverkusen. You bring him in because he offers you what that next step in tactics is. And if you're going to be the anti-Barcelona club, right? If you're going to be the counterbalance to Barcelona, Barcelona's evolved tactically, right? They're not necessarily playing the tiki-taka total football way they used to. There's elements of that in Hansi Flick's system, but it's much more aggressive attacking, sending the ball into space. There's much more of a counter. Xabi Alonso needs to kind of do the same thing to Real Madrid, especially if you're going to keep pace. The benefit to that is, if you would say, right, relationism is like the new hot button word for tactics, right? That it's more about the interplay between players versus you stand there. If someone's over here, you need to move over there. So it's not a system based. That kind of existed a lot more with Ancelotti, and that's kind of the core of the system under Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso is just a bit more tactically adept or instructional than Ancelotti was. And Ancelotti, you get the feeling that he was like, let the boys play. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, these guys, they're professionals.
We paid a lot of money for them boys. They know what they're doing.
What, I got a lemon on my hands?
I got to do everything? Buddy, I want an automatic. I don't need a stick shift.
It's interesting, and we talk about this all the time on our show, The Cooligans. Go check it out.
Subscribe.
But we talk about this all the time about how managers sort of run their course at whatever club. Like you don't go from a vibes manager like Ancelotti to another vibes manager.
You got to switch.
You got to complete. You need a
player manager. Tough guy.
Yes.
Player manager, tough guy.
And Xabi Alonso clearly has a lot more of a tactical mindset, and it's hard to judge exactly. Like Xabi played under Pep, right? When he was at Bayern, if I'm not mistaken.
Play under Pep, yeah.
So you would imagine the influence is there. Like, oh my God, I didn't know I could be coached like this.
He's got a little bit of everything, right? The Rafa, the Pep. Yeah, he's played under a lot of big names.
So this is what you flip flop, because it felt like the year they won Champions League, you're like, all right, do we have another dynasty on our hands? And then the following year, it's just like, how did it fall apart so quickly with Carlo Ancelotti? So you bring in a manager that is like in great form right now, even in the season for Bayer Leverkusen, his third season with Bayer Leverkusen, the one he just left. It's still a pretty good season. Yeah,
a great season.
Wasn't invincible, right? But if that's the standard,
you're not going to do that twice.
Exactly.
But also, he's more tactically fluid than Ancelotti was. Ancelotti was like, we're going to play our style. I'm not going to change it up just because of this or that. There's moments, obviously, within the game where Ancelotti will make adjustments. But for the most part, you're coming to someone who's now going to say, like, how are they going to play us? Or how do these guys like to play? All right, and then here's what we're going to do to take advantage of those maybe missteps or areas. What Luis Enrique did, which won him the Champions League. What Pep did when he went to Bayern Munich. And he said, okay, this league is much more about transitions. They have the highest percentage of transitions across all the 5 major leagues. Well, I need to get better at coaching my guys for transitions because that's clearly what they're going to see defensively and what they're going to have to do offensively in order to play. And then they became the best transition team in the world at Bayern Munich. Xabi Alonso needs to do the same thing when he gets to Real Madrid. All right, how does Serie A like to? How does La Liga like to play? All right, then we're going to switch it up, and we need to do more of this and more of that.
Yeah, I'm excited for him because not just for going to this, being the manager of the team, but he gets Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, a tremendous upgrade for Real Madrid, and then at center back, Dean Huijsen coming from Bournemouth. You have effectively a few defenders that are incredible on the ball. And we've seen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who basically can play as a midfielder and would almost prefer it. And then Dean Huijsen, who brings the ball up with all the confidence in the world. We saw him against
looks like a midfielder with the ball at his feet.
Spain, running the ball, just like who was I had just seen an interview with a clip from Ben Foster's podcast, and David Raya was on. And he was talking about players on the Spanish national team, and he was talking about this kid. He was like, Dean Huijsen, this kid. He was like, when he was 19, 20 years old, mouthing off, joking around, and the national team doing whatever he wanted, and he's like, when I was that age, I wouldn't even think to
Yeah.
behave that way because
Yeah.
I know maybe I'm not good enough.
Does
I don't
anybody
want
need coffee? You know, that's more of your attack.
let me lace your boots.
Yeah. Mind if I lick them? You know?
All right, well, I don't know.
He got a little freaky.
Okay. You know, there's no wrong answers, I guess.
I'm just trying to say I would show reference.
So I think the team has an opportunity to be to look very different and be very exciting. And as far as tactically, he can move pieces around and have players in different places and push them up.
Yeah.
And not really worried about any defensive sort of weakness or fear.
Also, they're going to play extremely versatile.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
If your defenders can bring the ball up, that's going to add with the players you got around him, the Mbappes, the Jude Bellinghams. I mean, it's going to be a crazy team to watch.
It should be better than last season for sure. They have you can check out the article on OneFootball, but they have the challenge for Xabi Alonso. Club World Cup starts in a couple days. He has only three training sessions before the Club World Cup with his new team.
So they're going to be changing throughout World Club. We're going to see a real evolution throughout Club World Cup.
If he can find success in the Club World Cup, I mean, it would be a testament to like how quickly he can implement all his ideas and stuff like that. But a lot of pressure on him for sure. I think he's ready for this moment. But yeah, Xabi Alonso, it should lead to a more stable and a Real Madrid that wins. And that's really the standard there.
And really competes with Barcelona.
Exactly, because they got humiliated last season. All right. Shout out to everybody watching on OneFootball. We are the Cooligans. Go subscribe. The link is there at the bottom. We'll see you over there on our channel. Peace.